This is Google's Gemini AI, and this is me, a developer who's about to show you how to build your own AI chatbot completely for free. Let's dive in. First things first, we need to set up our project structure. I'm creating a simple but powerful AI chatbot that requires just a few files and some Node.js magic. Let me show you the complete project structure. Package.json, our project configuration and dependencies. Server.js, our Express server that handles API calls to Gemini. Index.html, the front-end interface. Script.js, client-side JavaScript for the chat functionality. Styles.css, making everything look clean and modern. .env, where we'll store our secret API key. Before we dive into the code, let's set up our package.json file. This package.json is super important. It defines all our dependencies and scripts. Notice we have a start script for production and a dev script using Nodemin for development, which automatically restarts the server when you make changes. Now here's where the real magic happens. Let me walk you through the backend code chunk by chunk, because understanding this is crucial for building your own AI. This first chunk is setting up our dependencies. We're using .env to keep our API key secret. Never hardcode your API keys, people. Express is our web framework, CORS lets our frontend talk to our backend, and Node Fetch makes HTTP requests to Google's API. Here we're creating our Express app and configuring middleware. The core's middleware is crucial. Without it, your browser will block requests between your frontend and backend. We're also serving static files from a public directory and parsing JSON requests. Now this is where things get interesting. I wrote several helper functions to make the AI responses look professional. This function transforms Gemini's markdown responses into proper HTML. Regular expressions are doing the heavy lifting here. We're converting bold text, italics, lists, and paragraphs. It's like having a mini markdown parser built right into our app. This function handles code blocks specifically. When Gemini returns code snippets, this regex captures the language and the code content, then wraps it in proper HTML with syntax highlighting classes. Pretty neat, right? This is where we're actually talking to Google's Gemini API. We're using the Gemini 2.0 Flash model, which is fast and free. The generation config parameters are super important. Temperature controls creativity, 0.7 is a good balance. Top K and top P control response diversity. Max output tokens limits response length. Moving to our front-end JavaScript, this is where the user experience comes alive. This function handles the entire chat flow. We add the user's message to the chat, show a loading state, make the API call, then display the AI's response. The error handling ensures users never see cryptic error messages. Notice how we're using semantic HTML with proper IDs for JavaScript interaction. The text area auto-resizes, and we've got a nice send button with an SVG icon. Now, I didn't include the full CSS in the code walkthrough because styling is optional. You can make this chatbot look however you want. But if you want that sleek, modern look you see here, you'll want to create a styles.css file. Think clean gradients, smooth animations, proper spacing, and responsive design that works on both desktop and mobile. One of the coolest features is syntax highlighting for code responses. We're using prism.js to highlight code blocks. When the AI returns code, it gets properly formatted with colors and indentation, just like in a professional IDE. Getting your Gemini API key is completely free. Just head to Google AI Studio, create an account, and generate your API key. Google gives you a generous free tier that's perfect for learning and small projects. Once you have your API key, create a .env file in your project root and add. Now for the moment of truth, let's get this thing running. Open your terminal in the project directory and follow these steps. npm install. This downloads all the packages we need: Express, CORS.env, and Node Fetch. npm run dev. This uses Nodman, so the server automatically restarts when you make changes. That's it, your AI chatbot should be running. If you see any errors, double-check that your API key is correctly set in the env file and that all dependencies are installed. Let me show you this thing in action. I can ask it to write code, explain concepts, or just have a conversation. Watch this. I'll ask it to write a Python function to calculate Fibonacci numbers, and boom, not only does it write the code, but it explains it too with beautiful syntax highlighting. Want to share your AI with the world? You've got several free options. Deploy to Heroku's free tier. Use Versal for front-end hosting. Just remember to set your environment variables in production. And there you have it. We've built a fully functional AI chatbot using Google's Gemini API completely for free. We covered backend API integration, front-end interactivity, text formatting, error handling, and even syntax highlighting.